youth are out here struggling, and there's no place for us, like, literally.
Every year at the end of May, the city of Grants Pass bursts into celebration as crowds gather at Riverside Park to cheer on the thrilling Boatnik hydroplane races. The roar of high-powered engines fills the air, water sprays under the glint of sunlight, and the joyful chaos of a carnival lights up the long Memorial Day weekend. But just a few blocks away from all that excitement and festivity, a very different scene unfolds. 4 homeless encampments stand quietly along the sidewalks near City Hall. Here, people live in tents wedged between chain-link fences and government buildings, seemingly invisible in the very heart of their own town. This stark contrast hits hard, challenging the picture-perfect image of Grants Pass as a charming small town. While one part of the city celebrates freedom and adrenaline on the river, another struggles to find shelter on hot pavement. 2 realities unfolding side by side, yet worlds apart. It's a contradiction we simply can't ignore. So let's begin by taking a closer look at the growing homelessness crisis before exploring the other side of life in this captivating little town. On June 22, 2025, the Supreme Court upheld the city's ban on camping in public spaces. But instead of shrinking, the homeless population has surged, bringing with it pop-up encampments complete with porta potties and piles of trash that just keep coming back. So what's really going on beneath the peaceful image of Grants Pass? Every night, around 600 people in Grants Pass call cold pavement their home. Yet the city's only major shelter for men has space for just 78 beds. These aren't just alarming statistics. They're silent cries for help that often go unheard. Behind the numbers lies a grim reality, an unemployment rate of 5.7% and an average hourly wage of $27,000 below the national standard, making every dollar stretch painfully thin. Meanwhile, the opioid crisis claims 3 lives a day, dragging victims into homelessness with brutal force. From the city's back alleys to its hidden corners, waves of people are swept up by economic stagnation and addiction, left with no choice but to trade their dreams for a worn-out blanket. Amidst the data and charts, there's the story of Laura Gutowski, a widow who lost both her husband and the roof over her head. She moved into the trunk of her car, thinking she'd only need to get by for a month. But a month turned into 2, and now, 2 years later, she's still laying out her tarp each night along the banks of the Rogue River. Since the Supreme Court upheld cities' rights to ban sleeping in public spaces on June 28, 2024, Grants Pass has found itself in the national spotlight. Now, even those without a roof over their heads can face fines or jail time, despite the fact that local shelters can only accommodate a fraction of the people who need help. But in late March 2025, Judge Sarah McLaughlin issued an injunction blocking enforcement of the camping ban until the city increases shelter capacity and ensures accessibility for people with disabilities. The tension between the rights of unhoused individuals to seek shelter in public and the community's desire for order and safety is palpable. On one hand, residents complain of trash piling up and risky activity in city parks. On the other, dozens of people are forced to move their belongings multiple times a night just to avoid police crackdowns. This debate has become a recurring flashpoint in town hall meetings and local media, pushing city leaders to reconsider their hardline stance. Amid the legal tug-of-war, acts of compassion continue. The Gospel Rescue Mission remains the city's main refuge, offering 78 beds for men and transitional support towards stable employment each night. Just a short walk away, Foundry Village, a small community project on Foundry Street, provides 17 air-conditioned, electricity-equipped tiny homes for those committed to long-term mentorship programs. In Grants Pass, Douglas fir forests stretch as far as the eye can see, and generations of families have made a living off the surrounding farmland. Many locals rise early to head to work, whether in apple orchards, lumber mills, or local government offices. But despite their hard work, the average annual income sits at around $47,500, slightly below the national average. Job opportunities are far from abundant. When lumber mills slow production or apple harvest season is still months away, unemployment can spike to nearly 6%. For recent high school grads and newly arrived migrant workers, that often means hustling to get by, stocking shelves at the local grocery store, unloading trucks in a warehouse, or roaming town offering truck washing services for quick cash. And what about housing? Picture this, a real estate ad boasting $400,000 for a 3-bedroom home with a big yard. At first glance, it sounds like a deal, until you realize the average household income in Grants Pass hovers around $57,000. That means buying a home here would stretch most families well beyond what financial experts consider affordable. Housing inventory is also drying up fast. In just the past month, prices have jumped nearly 5%, forcing many families to put their dream of homeownership on hold. In Grants Pass, the downtown area practically hugs the edge of the Rogue River. Just a 5-minute drive north from the city center takes you to the Siskiyou National Forest, where rows of Douglas fir and ponderosa pines line the hiking trails of Aunt Mary Road, offering sweeping views of the river valley from the hilltops. Head southwest instead, and you'll reach the Oregon Caves National Monument, an ancient marble cave system popular for underground adventure tours, perfect for those looking to escape the noise of small-town life. The community here is laid back, but don't underestimate their craftsmanship and local spirit. Every Saturday morning, the farmers market at 7th Street Plaza comes alive with stands selling homemade jams, hand-carved pinewood crafts, and naturally fermented sourdough bread. In the plaza's west corner sits Rogue Ales and Spirits, a legendary microbrewery born in Grants Pass in 1988 that has since become a pioneer of America's craft beer movement. The locals lean conservative. Sunday mornings, you'll find many at church services, but they're just as passionate when it comes to volunteer projects, from free river cleanup programs to mentorship initiatives for former inmates. And here's a fun bit of trivia that often gets overlooked. Just a few blocks from Humanitia Cafe, you'll find the Trail of Owls, a series of carved wooden owl statues from last year's street art exhibit, quietly reminding us to stay alert to the real darkness, including those still searching for a place to call home. You do not need to fly all the way to the Amazon for a heart-pounding whitewater experience. Just head down to the Rogue River dock, strap on your helmet and life jacket, and feel the rush as your raft crashes through Class 3-4 rapids. The granite cliffs around you whisper stories of Gold Rush-era miners, while the splash of icy water on your face reminds you you're at the wild heart of Grants Pass. If you're craving even more speed, the Hellgate Jetboat Tour is ready to deliver. With engines roaring, the Jetboat slices through narrow gorges, twisting along the winding river in a thrill ride that feels like dancing between canyon walls. The river wind shakes your whole body while jaw-dropping vertical views unfold at every turn. Once you've dried off, head underground into the depths of the Oregon Caves National Monument. Beyond the marble entrance lies a world of ancient formations where your flashlight beam dances over stalactites and stalagmites formed over millions of years. Your footsteps echo across stone floors, making you feel like a Victorian-era explorer. Every drip from the cave ceiling adds a haunting rhythm to the shadows that surround you. Prefer a lighter hike with killer views? Aunt Mary Trail winds up rugged terrain to a ridge where towering Douglas fir and ponderosa pine trees slope dramatically down toward the sparkling curves of the Rogue River, reflecting the golden rays of the sun. After braving the rush of the Rogue River Rapids, wandering the quiet marble caves, and breathing in the crisp air atop Aunt Mary Trail, it becomes clear Grants Pass offers an unmatched luxury of outdoor adventure. But amid the thrill and stunning views, the quiet rustle of a worn tent on the sidewalk lingers, a reminder that not everyone can enjoy this beauty in safety and comfort. And so the question arises, what does it mean to be an ideal small town if its rivers, caves, and forests are only truly accessible to a few? Should Grants Pass cling to its peaceful, picturesque image, while its most vulnerable are pushed aside in the name of preserving that beauty? Or perhaps, when we return from these exhilarating journeys, this town could become the starting point for real change, from expanding shelters beneath the pine trees to designing hiking trails that welcome all, ensuring everyone can feel the flow of the Rogue River and the breeze from a hilltop view. Maybe the greatness of a small town is not measured by the length of its rafting routes or the depth of its untouched caves, but by how fully it invites every resident to be part of the adventure.